أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإيمانا وفقها في الدين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وتجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا رب العالمين. So this the last chapter of the book, Babu Osiyam, the book that talks about fasting. Alright, so before we start reading what the author, may Allah have mercy on him, said, let's look at some virtues of the month of Ramadan. Now, when they say Babu Siyam, they are referring to the fasting of Ramadan, right? Babu Siyam, same as when they are talking about Kitab Salah, they are talking about the 5 daily prayers, right? The 5 daily prayers, and not what? The Nawafil. But the Nawafil, what? They include it because it also falls under what? Under Salah. So here when they say Babu Siyam, they are referring to the fasting of Ramadan. So now let's talk about Ramadan. Okay, so what do you know about Ramadan?
A special month.
Okay.
It's a month that these are not done.
Okay.
It's the month where Muslims fast.
Okay. All right. So you want to say something? Okay. So Ramadan is one of the months on the Islamic calendar, and it's the 9th month, right? It's the 9th month, and then this name Ramadan was given to it even before Islam, right? Even before Islam, and then the word Ramadan is from. It means Ramad. It's from the word Ramad, extremely hot, right? Extremely hot. That is Ramad. So Ramadan also with the same meaning, extremely hot. Okay, so this month, Allah has prescribed a month, the fasting, the obligatory fast in this month, right? In the 2nd year of what? Of Hijri. Right? After the migration of the Prophet to Medina, meaning when the Prophet and then the Sahabas were in Mecca, they were not fasting. There was no obligatory fast except one day or 2 days. That is the fasting of Ashura, right? The fasting of Ashura was obligatory, right? That was the only fast they used to fast, obligatory fast. So until the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina. So when he migrated to Medina in the 1st year, they continued fasting Ashura, and then in the 2nd year, the fasting of the month of Ramadan was legislated. So Ramadan, it's the 9th month on the Islamic calendar, and it has. It's also not part of the 4 sacred months, but it has more virtues than what it has. Its importance outweighs the importance of the sacred month, right? So, do you remember the sacred month?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
No. Muharram.
In the last month.
Yeah, Dhul Hijjah. Al-Qa'dah
and the one who keep.
No, and Rajab. So Muharram, Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, and then Dhul Hijjah. Okay, so Ramadan is not part of what? part of these secret months. Okay, but its importance outweigh these months. Okay, these are secret months. When these months, when these months arrive, I mean, fighting becomes what prohibited, meaning battle become what prohibited, and also Allah multiplies good deeds, and also He punishes severely for sins. Okay, but in the month of Ramadan is different. Here, in the month of Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Atakum Ramadanu shahrun mubarak. افترض فرض الله عليكم فرض الله لكم فيه صياما وفيه تفتح أبواب السماء وتغلق أبواب الجحيم وتغل مرضة الشياطين." So the Prophet ﷺ said, the blessed month has come, what has come to you, meaning the month of Ramadan. So the Prophet ﷺ as well described it as a blessed month, right? So this one of what? One of its virtue. And then he said, Allah also what Allah has enjoined on us to what? To fast in this month. So fasting of this month is also what? Is also one of its virtue, right? Yeah, because there's no month that we fast as much as we fast in the month of Ramadan. For the month of Ramadan, we fast completely, and then fasting in it is also what? A pillar, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Okay, so this makes it what? More virtuous than what? Than other months. And then in this month, the Prophet said, "Tuftahu abwab as-sama." Allah opens what? The doors of what? Of the heavens. Right? The heavens, the doors of the heavens are what? Are open. And then Allah don't open the door of heaven except He want to what? He want to forgive and then bless and also reward His servant with Jannah. Right? So Allah is more merciful in this what? In this month than any other month. He said, "Fihi tuftahu abwabu al-Jannah. وَتُغْلَقُ أَبْوَابُ الْجَحِيمِ." And also the doors of what? Hell is what is closed in this month. So meaning Allah is more merciful in this month and don't want to punish what? A servant. So for that reason He closes all what? The doors of what? Of hell. And then also وَتُغَلُّ فِيهِ مَرَضَةَ الشَّيَاطِينِ. And also in this month the devils are what? Are chained. Right? The devils are chained. So here, when people hear that the devils are chained, they mean they think that, okay, since the devils are chained, no, I mean sins cannot be committed, or sins will not be committed in what? In these months, right? So here, the wicked devils are what? Are chained, right? So meaning, so that they will not affect or whisper in the ears of what? Of the believers, right? Because the sins that happen, these devils have what? They have hand in it. They come and then whisper in the ears of what? Of the believers to do that evil act. All right, so they are chained. They are chained for so that believers can get free mind to worship Allah. But okay.
Yeah. And that means that we have levels in levels too.
Yeah.
So in other words, since we have levels in Islam, Muslim and believer, it means that the normal sins that are committed are the lowest level among the devils.
No.
They are the influence.
No, the devils, they're in degree. Okay, there are believers among them. They are sinful among the devils, and then there are also those also higher in what? In evil. You get it? So like that, they are not on the same level. Okay, they are not on the same level. So the wicked ones are what? Are chained on the in Ramadan. Okay, so here this we said that this does not mean that sins don't occur or will not occur in the month of what? In the month of Ramadan. Because there are two things as far as sin is concerned. Because when a person commits a sin, there are two things. Either it's a whispering from shaitan or from the person's own self. You understand? So now, the month in which the devils are chained. Now the person is left with what? With his own soul. You get it? So if it's a soul that commands the person to act sinful and wrongly or evil, then the person has to work on what? On himself.
Mm.
Do you get it? Because the self will not be what? Will not be chained. So you have to what? You have to control it.
Right. So on that one, the minor devils will be left.
They will be left.
But it will be rare to see a believer falling for minor sins. Is that the
Yeah. So yeah, because now we have even the souls are what we have different types of souls. There are souls that always encourages the person to what to do good deeds, and then also stay away from evil. Right? There are souls like that, and there are souls also when the person commits sins, the soul regrets and then repent immediately. And there are souls that always always pushes the person to commit sin, and then that sin the person don't feel remorse after committing the sin. Okay, so the souls are in degrees. Okay, so now when the devils are chained in the month of Ramadan, the person will be left with what? With his soul, with its nafs. You understand? So if you train yourself from committing sins outside Ramadan, and then in Ramadan it's what? It will continue. But if a person continue to commit sins outside the Ramadan too, not much will change. You get it? Even though the atmosphere encourages one to stay away from sins. But you have to what? One has to strive against his own soul. Do you get it? Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean if someone is used to committing sins in Ramadan, he's able to stay away from sins after Ramadan, so he'll be able to continue with us?
Yeah, so now that's the purpose of Ramadan actually. When one should stay away from from sins from the beginning of the month till the end. So when you're able to do that successfully, this will impact or affect the rest of the months, right? So you'll be able to to stay upright in the rest of the month. Okay. So that's why the Prophet said, الصلوات الخمس والرمضان إلى رمضان مكفرات لما بينهن إذا اجتنب الكبائر. Say between the intervals between the 5 daily prayers, and also the intervals between one Ramadan to the other Ramadan is an expiation. Meaning, when this Ramadan comes, it wipes away the sins that were committed, the intervals between this Ramadan and the previous Ramadan. You get it? So, like that. So, and also, in this month too, there's a night called Laylatul Qadr, which we will be discussing later in the chapter. So, this Laylatul Qadr is what is more than observing it. It's more than worshiping Allah for 30. It's for 83 years. Yeah, 83 years. So when you are lucky to observe this one night called Laylatul Qadr, it is as if you worship Allah for 83 years.
Okay. Does that mean that if you are 40 years and observe it, your sins are wiped from the day you were born?
No, that's not what it means. It means that you'll be rewarded as if you worship Allah for 83 years. That's what it means. Do you get it? When you observe the night of Qadr, right? You'll be rewarded as if you've worshipped Allah for 83 years. That's what it means. Is this clear? Okay.
In other words, yes, your good deeds would definitely survive.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
If you die, you go to heaven.
Inshallah. Inshallah. All right. So this is also one of the virtues of what? Of the month of Ramadan. So in that month, you can't find this Laylatul Qadr in any other month except in the month of Ramadan. So this also make what? This month virtuous. And then in the month, Allah revealed the glorious Quran in what? In the month of Ramadan. Allah said, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. Right? It is in the month of Ramadan that the Quran was revealed. Okay, so all these combined make this month more virtuous than what? Than even the secret months. Right? There's no month that you can find these like any virtuous acts in it except the month of Ramadan. Do you get it? So it is more virtuous than what? Than even the secret month. You get it? Okay. Any question?
See, about with regards to the sin, the believer, we understand that even without your soul, they say, in Quran Vinas of Allah, they said, may Allah protect you. I've forgotten the verse actually. So it's like you are seeking for refuge from Allah, from the sins within, from the evil within yourself. Who are they referring to here? Is it the nafs?
Which surah?
I don't remember. I see that nafs.
The Master. No, not the nafs, but the evil of the creation. Not nafs. The evil of your own self. No, it's about you're seeking refuge in Allah from what? From the evil of that, the evil that come in that day, and also the evil of what? Mankind, and then the jinn. You get it, but not the evil of what? The soul.
But say, what do you refer the evil within yourself?
Evil within yourself, it's the nafs.
That's the nafs.
That's the nafs. So it's the nafs that that pushes a person to what? To either perform good deeds or bad deeds.
So the human being is different from the nafs.
So the human being, if we say the human consists of what? The flesh, blood, reasoning, and then the soul. So it is human. Okay? So when we refer to the nafs, we are referring to the soul. The soul. The nafs, the ruh. Right? And then there are some scholars too who differentiate between the soul and then the nafs. Yeah, so the nafs will be, according to that scholars, the nafs will be kind of a quality of what? Of the soul. So if the soul is a soul of a good person, the nafs will what? Will be good. If the soul is what? Is good, then the nafs will also, if the soul is bad, the nafs will also what? Will also be bad. Yeah, so it's kind of what? A quality within that person. That's determine the person's good deeds or what? Or bad deeds. So Allah said, Ya ayyatuhan nafsu al-mutma'inna. But here, Allah is referring, Ya ayyuhan nafsu al-mutma'inna, is referring to the soul. The soul within you. You get it? So is the soul. Ya ayyatuhan nafsu al-mutma'inna, irja'i ila rabbiki radiyatan maradiyah. Return to your Lord. Whilst Allah is what? Is pleased with you. Radiyatan maradiyah.
Since the human being comprises of the flesh, the blood, the brain, and also the soul, does that mean that part of the human being can be a Muslim and the soul can be a believer?
No, brother. No.
They say if your soul is good, then your nafs is good.
Yeah.
So it means
So you can't, brother, you can't be a believer and disbeliever at the same time. You're either a believer or disbeliever. You can't be a disbeliever. So when the soul, you can still be a Muslim, but the soul is bad. The soul will encourage you or be pushing you to do bad deeds. You get it? So that's it. But there's no way the soul will be a believer and then the nafs will be what? A disbeliever. No, the soul can be a soul of a believer and the nafs what will be a sinful nafs. You get it? A sinful nafs. Here's this. If you remember what we discussed in our Aqidat Tahawiyah, you get it. So I hope it's clear. Yeah. So we should not deviate so much from the topic. You get it? So now, Mu'allif said, قال المؤلف رحمه الله. So inshallah, maybe we will be discussing 2 or 3 issues today about fasting. Then we pause and then continue in our next lesson. So قال المؤلف رحمه الله باب الصيام, the chapter of what? Fasting. وصوم رمضان. So you see, he started with وصوم رمضان. Right? So if they say الصوم, باب الصوم or كتاب الصوم, they are referring to the Ramadan. وصوم رمضان فريضة يثبت بكمال شعبان أو برؤية عدلين للهلال أو جماعة مستفيضة وكذلك في الفطر. So here the author is discussing 2 issues here. The ruling of what? Of fasting in the month of Ramadan, and then how do we determine the beginning of the fast and then the end of what? Of the fast. Or the beginning of the month and then the end of the month. So he said, وَصَوْمُ رَمَضَانَ فَرِيضَةٌ. So here, this is the ruling. He said, the ruling of the fasting of Ramadan is faridah, is obligatory, right? So obligatory, how is it obligatory? And why is it obligatory? How did we know that it's obligatory?
Because it's part of the 5 pillars of Islam.
It's part of the 5 pillars of Islam. So it's what? It's obligatory. When you look at all the 5 pillars, they're all obligatory. You get it? This is obligatory. And then another evidence on that is where Allah said, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. Whoever is present in the month of Ramadan and has reached the age of puberty should fast. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. Right? Whoever witnessed the month of Ramadan and is a Muslim and also has reached the age of puberty and he is a resident should fast. Do you get it? So here we understand it's obligatory. So it's obligatory. We will talk about the condition of what? Obligation, right? The condition of obligation and the condition of what? Validity, right? So now here, all scholars of Islam agree that the fasting of Ramadan is what? It's compulsory, right? It's compulsory. So here it means that any Muslim who deny the obligation of the fast of Ramadan is what?
it's a kafir.
It's a kafir. Do you get it? Because here we understand from the Quran, from the Sunnah, and from what the consensus of scholars that fasting in the month of Ramadan is obligatory. So here there is no one who don't know that fasting in the month of Ramadan is obligatory. So everyone knows it. So any Muslim who denies this fact is what? Will cease to be a believer. You understand? what of if a Muslim say, okay, I believe that fasting in this month is obligatory, but I will not fast.
becomes a simple.
He said, it becomes a sinful Muslim. Do you get it? Is it clear? Okay. So here, وَصَوْمُ رَمَضَانَ فَرِيدَةٌ. It's what? It's obligatory. Then, now he's now talking about, he's going to talk about how do we determine the beginning of what? Of the month of Ramadan and then the end. So he said, وَيَثْبُتُ بِكَمَالِ شَعْبَانَ أو برؤية عدلين للهلال أو جماعة مستفيضة. So here he said, there are two ways to determine the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end of what? The month of Ramadan. Is this clear? There are two ways. That is بكمال شعبان. For Sha'ban, for the month of Sha'ban to what? To complete 30. Right? So now, let's say, now we are in Sha'ban, right? Are we in Sha'ban?
Yeah.
You don't know? You don't know?
It's possible.
Yeah, we are in Sha'ban. Are you not waiting for Ramadan? So, Sha'ban, I don't know which calendar you are using, but if it's Hijri. Okay, so this Sha'ban, Sha'ban, it's either 29 or 30. Okay, so we have two ways of what determine the beginning of what the month of Ramadan. Either we count Sha'ban to 30 days, up to 30 days, or we count what Sha'ban to 30 days, up to 30 days. So it means that when Sha'ban completes 30 days, the next day is what? Is first Ramadan. Do you get it? When Sha'ban completes 30 days, the counting of Sha'ban when it's complete, when it's full, 30 days, then the next day becomes what? First Ramadan.
So can Shaban complete 29?
Yes?
So how do we know this month, this Shaban has completed?
Yeah, by sighting of the moon on the 29th. So when the moon is sighted on 29 Sha'ban, then the following day will be first Ramadan.
To check again. What happens to people who set their own dates? For them, the current month was in
Sha'ban.
Shawwal. For them, they don't have 29 dates.
They complete 30.
Yeah, for them.
Even if they see the moon on
For them, dates.
it's 30. Okay.
What of that one?
Yeah, so here you have no control over the month. Right? It's Allah who determines whether the month will be 29 or 30, not you. Right? So immediately you see the moon, right? You see the moon, you will not count it as 30 anymore. The next day has to be at first Ramadan. You get to this, you have no opinion in it. Immediately you see the moon on 29th Shaban, then there's no need to what? To count 30th Shaban. The next day is what? First Ramadan. Whether you like it or not, it's first Ramadan.
What is the ruling when maybe there is a doubt as to whether the moon has been sighted? Some are claiming it has been sighted in the southern part of the country. Some are seeing the northern part. Like there is doubt generally. And then the ruler of the country decided that okay, so we are completing the Shaban on 30th, whether the moon is sighted or not. Then 31st or first becomes after the day after the 30th becomes Ramadan. In a way to avoid that. So, what is the Islamic ruling on this?
Okay. That's a very good question. We'll answer that. All right. So, do you get this? The counting of Shaban should complete 30. Or when the moon, or he said, or أو برؤية عدلين للهلال, or when two trustworthy people witness or sight the moon. Right? So here, the citation of the moon. So now, do you understand the first method? That is the completion of what? Shaban. The Shaban should complete how many days? 30 days. Or 29. So when it's 29, what happens on the 29th? No. When it's 29, then the moon has been what? Has been sighted. Right? So the following day will be first Ramadan. Okay. So now he's talking about what? Sighting of the moon. So he said, برؤية عدلين للهلال. So here, how do we determine the sighting of the moon? How do we confirm the sighting of the moon? So he said, by what? By the witness of what? Two trustworthy persons. Okay, so it means that the moon that has been sighted on 29th Shaban should be sighted by two trustworthy persons. Right? So it means that when one person, even a trustworthy person, come to us and say he has sighted the moon, do we have to fast? No, we don't have to fast. We have to what? We need the witness of what? The sighting of two trustworthy people, individuals. Do you get it? If a person come and say I've sighted the moon, it is not what? It is not obliged on us to what? To fast. Now, but the person who said he has sighted the moon, the person has to fast. He has to fast.
He has to start his own.
Yes, he has to start because he has sighted it. So his Ramadan begins the following day.
Check them down and maybe the calendar because if that means you are having one or maybe you are having two. Now we are having one. So now the Islamic calendar, how is it going to be?
No. You see, now he has sighted, right?
Yeah.
To him, Ramadan has started. But to us, because he's the only person who reported the sighting of the moon, it is not what obliged on us to fast. Unless with two people or more than two, then we fast. But for him, when he failed to fast the next day, he has to what? He has to make up that day after Ramadan and make kafara. So we discuss about kafara. Do you get it? So the person, let's say only one person came from somewhere. He went to a place and then sighted the moon alone. I don't know, but somewhere, and then he went to sight the moon somewhere, and then came. So when he came, he was alone, and came and then he informed the imam that he had sighted the moon. So this person, we said, okay, you are a trustworthy person. We trust you. But because you are the only person who sighted the moon, we can't tell whether you are telling the truth or not. You get it? So we need additional witness, at least two people, right? When two trustworthy individuals come and say we've sighted the moon, then it is what? It is obligatory upon the entire community to fast the next day. Do you get it? But if one person comes and say, I've sighted the moon, then it is not what? It is not obligatory on the community to fast, but it is obligatory on what? On that individual to fast.
But that means when you start fasting before the public, you finish before the public. That's when he started on the first. He first started to do, and the next day the fasting actually began, which the whole public. Meaning you complete his 30 days today, and the next day.
Yeah, so he has to do that. But if the moon is, if they sight the moon, then the next day, then he will not fast. So his will be exactly 29, and these people's own will also be 29. Do you get it? Because he has started a day before them, right? Okay. So now on the 29th Ramadan, when the moon, when they sight the moon, he will not fast.
Yes.
You get it?
Mm-hmm.
He will not fast. He will not fast on that 29.
Yeah. When they said the moon on 29th Ramadan, he has gotten 28.
No,
Because he began before Ramadan.
no.
His will be 29. 29.
They are 29.
His will be 30.
Maybe you go on each day, or maybe
No, he can't go and pray alone. He can't go and pray alone. So he has to wait for the community. Yeah.
So maybe he sighted the moon on, let's say, on 30th Shaban.
No, you can't sight it.
Maybe
You said you
he
look.
sighted the moon and he came to the found
He sighted the moon on 29th Shaban.
No, okay, 29th Shaban, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the following day to him is first Ramadan.
First Ramadan.
To the community is 30th Shaban.
It's 30th Shaban, yes.
Do you get it?
Mm.
Uh-huh. So he will be what? He will be a day ahead of them.
Yes.
You get it?
Mm.
Uh-huh. So at the end, when they sight the moon, that will be, so they will search for the moon on 29th Ramadan. When they see it, the next day will be what? First Shawwal. But if they don't see it, then they complete what?
So that
30.
means that day he ends.
He will not fast. If they don't see the moon and they are fasting on 29th, the community's 29th day, his will be 30. So he don't have to fast the next day. Do you get it? Because you don't have to fast 21 days. 31 days.
okay, check. Maybe he is having 29.
Okay?
Then it's one of them.
Okay?
And these people
Again. Okay.
And now, whilst he was 29,
Okay.
these people are on 28. Okay. The next morning, maybe this one still he has to wait again.
No, they can be. He can be. So no.
No, it can be possible.
There's a country, I've forgotten the name of the country. They don't experience total darkness
Okay.
in terms of night. So always you see the sun right there. So it's possible you see the moon even before getting to late, you see the moon appear. So in that situation, that person can experience the moon. You can experience the starting of the fasting even before the whole public will even say they've heard that the moon has been sighted. So in other words, too, before on 28th or before 29th, you can also see the moon before it appears to the whole public. So in that situation, you can get even less. So what about that? What's the Islamic ruling on this?
Now for such countries, yeah, you need their situation has to be studied, and then accordingly a fatwa will be given. You understand? We can't just sit here with our weather here and then determine what will happen.
But sir, you left mine.
Okay, what's your
He started, maybe the guy.
Yeah, the one who saw the moon. Okay.
Okay. He has got it to 29.
Mm-hmm.
Then he sighted the moon.
Okay.
His colleagues who are on 28. Okay. Will you wait for them again?
This is not that means the man didn't complete one.
No. So I mean, the sighting of the moon is not like the way you think.
No, so
You can-
sometimes You have to think.
So now, okay, so it's possible. Now it's possible that his citation was right,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
His citation was right. So in this case, what will happen? Right? So here, yes, now you don't fast 28 days. So what will happen? They will fast a day. They will make up a day after Eid.
A day after.
After Eid. So meaning here there's a mistake here.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a mistake here. But also uh, it will depend when the moon was sighted.
Mm.
It will depend.
Maybe midnight.
So if the moon, there's a time when the moon, if the moon is sighted, then it's the moon of what the next day. So they have to fast. It's the moon of what? Of the following day, not that day. So that day they have to fast. So they will definitely fast 29. You get it? Uh-huh. Is it clear? Yeah. Yeah, so
Say again, but I mean, mine is very sure because now that maybe he is leading, because definitely all of us has to come on one decision because you can't have your own calendar. Me too, I'm having.
but he's not having his own calendar. The reason why he was asked to fast is because he sighted the moon alone. You get it? So for him, it is wajib to start. For him, the Ramadan has started on his. Yeah, you know, same apply to death. We have only one qiyamah.
Yeah.
But immediately you die, that's when the qiyamah starts. So Allah said, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. Whoever is present when the moon is sighted should fast. Or whoever sights the moon should what? Should fast. So he has sighted the moon. Why should he wait? He has to fast. You get it?
So what happened if someone sighted the moon, but because he's very unsure about the whole thing, so he decided to wait for the moon, for the public to make an announcement that
No.
we should fast.
So here, let's say that one person has sighted the moon. We said that when one person sighted the moon, it's not what? It's not obliged upon the community to fast. So for him, he can decide to remain silent and fast that the next day. Because to him, Ramadan has started. Because he has sighted the moon. So this is what scholars recommend. If it's someone who knows, someone who is learned, because a person who is learned know that when he sights the moon alone,
We shouldn't.
it will not be what? It will not be binding on what? On the community to fast. So he can keep it to himself and then fast the next day. You understand?
And check again. If the principal said two people, right?
Yeah, two people.
What if they say, oh, maybe Iraq have seen the moon
Once we are in Ghana.
whilst we are in Ghana?
Okay.
Do we have to start?
Okay, so we will come to that. Yeah, we just after this, we will address that. So is it people citing of another country, a different country, is it binding on us? So we will talk about this. Okay. So here he said, أو جماعة مستفيضة, or or a group of people. So two people or group of people. When two people or more, let's say 5, 10, 20, sight the moon, then it is what? It is binding on the community to what? To fast. So here, same as what? Same as the month of Shawwal. So Shawwal is after Ramadan or before Ramadan. After Ramadan, right? So the same as what? The month of what? Shawwal. So it has to be cited by two people or group of people. When it is cited by one person, they don't what? It's not binding on the community to what? To break. Is it clear? Okay. So now, let's look at, they call it اختلاف المطالع. So here, Citing of what? Of a different region or country, is it binding on another country? So according to our madhab, it is not binding. Yeah. According to the madhab of Imam Malik, it's not what? It's not binding. So when people, let's say in Iraq, as you ask, cited the moon, it is not binding on the people of Ghana to what? To fast. Yeah. It is not what? It is not binding. So according to the madhab, every country has what? Has its own citation. Every country or every region. Okay? Every country or every region has what? Has to depend on his citation. But contemporary scholars are saying that no, it should be what? It should be considered. It should be binding on what? On the entire region, or globally. When one Islamic state cite the moon, it should be what? It should be binding on what? On the other Muslim communities and countries. Okay, why? To what? To unite the what? The Ummah.
This is on the basis of unison.
So this is what, according to the contemporary scholars, according to the scholars of today, Fuqaha of today, this is what they are saying. But according to our madhab, every country should base on what? On their citation, on their citing of what? Of the moon.
In other words, it means that the countries are in the future. The countries are in the future.
How do you mean in the future?
For instance, Ghana is today. So USA, there are maybe some hours.
Okay. The time difference.
Yes, the time difference. So they are in the future. So I was saying that the countries are in the future. For instance,
No, you don't say in the future. They are ahead of us. So they come in the future. They are just ahead of us, like 1 hour, 2 hours, yeah.
So for instance, they have sighted the moon, and the country that are behind, they haven't yet sighted the moon. Since we are talking about the nation, to ensure their contemporary as well. So are we obliged to follow them because they've already sighted the moon?
Okay, so according to the contemporary scholars, so we said that according to our madhab, every country should base on their sighting. So meaning Iraq or Saudi Arabia or Egypt have cited it. It's not binding on us to fast, according to our madhab. But according to contemporary scholars, they are saying to unite the ummah, citing of a country is what is binding or should be considered by what? By other Muslim communities. You get it? So here is asking, now what about the countries that are ahead of us, let's say 2 hours or 3 hours ahead of us? What do we do when they sight the moon? So here, this issue of the moon, it's not issue of the individuals. It's not issue, it's based by what? By the Imam's conclusion or decision. So the Imam will look at it and then announce. So if the Imam is of the opinion that okay, let's base on our citing, then we base on that. If the Imam say no, let's follow what the opinion of the contemporary scholars who are saying that a citing of what an Islamic state is binding on what on a different country, then we also follow. You understand? So here we don't, because we are now learning this fiqh. I will not tell you that okay, do this or do that. No, we have to follow what? We have to follow the decision of what? Of the Imam of that country, of this country. You get it? So here we are learning as students to know how to go about this, because before you act on an act of worship, you need to know. You need knowledge of that act of worship. So we are learning. But the issue of the moon is not issue of individuals. Okay, it's the issue It's the Imam who announce it, whether sighting of what Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Egypt should be what should be binding on us, or we should depend on our sighting. It's what this it's the work of the Imam.
Okay.
So the Imam here, we are referring to the ruler, the Islamic ruler.
So if we say
Chief
Imam, yes. So and also this
This happens a lot.
when is this also yes, if we say Imam, we are referring to what? To the Grand Mufti of the country. So here and then brothers here also in this country, mashallah, we have a lot of imams. Okay. Every sect has their imam,
No.
right? So now whose imam's judgment or conclusion should we what follow? Okay. Now when you look at it, chief imam is what? Is recognized as the imam of Ghana, the Grand Mufti. But there is also another issue that we don't have to neglect. Chief imams, sometimes his conclusions or his final decision on this issue are there's this kind of political influence in this. Okay, so that's why you mostly see issues. Some other sectors say no, we will not go by this. We will go by our own destiny. You get it? So there's political influence in it, especially when it has to do with what with the sighting of Shawwal. You get it? Yeah. So all this, but ideally it should be what? It should be according to what? To the discretion or the decision of what? Of the chief imam. But this the situation that we find ourselves. May Allah forgive us and make things easy. So that's it. What do we do? You get it?
Wow. Then, in a situation where other
Sect.
other sects decide to go by their imam, there is nothing wrong. As long as it's not having any negative impact on other sects as well. So just being there silent.
Yeah, you see, it causes a lot of division. You get it? It causes a lot of division. And I quite remember some years back, the chief imam is saying they've sighted the moon somewhere. And then the other groups are saying that no, they should tell us where they sighted the moon and then who sighted the moon. You get it? So, and then, this is the issue. This is what I'm telling you. Because who sighted the moon? How many are they? Are they trustworthy? All these should be taken into consideration. Not just that the chief imam has he should be, his opinion, his conclusion, judgment should be accepted without any dispute because it's the Grand Mufti. But as I said, there are kind of suspicious issues surrounding him that won't allow the other groups to just accept. This, I'm just telling you, this is the reality. I can't just sugarcoat things. I don't care about anything. This is what is going on. I'm not for someone or against someone, but this is the reality. We get it. So I truly believe in the astronomical calculation. Yes. And then also let's discuss about astronomical calculation. This, according to majority of scholars, jurists, fuqaha, they are saying that it is not allowed. It is not permissible to use astronomical calculation to determine the sighting of the moon. This is the fuqaha, according to the fuqaha, right? Why? They have their reasons and their evidence. Okay, they are saying that because the Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Inna ummatun ummiyatun la naktub wa la nahsub. Ash-shahru hakaza wa hakaza wa hakaza. Right? So they are saying that the Prophet ﷺ said, we are community of, we are unlettered community. We don't write nor calculate. We don't write nor calculate. And the month is hakaza wa hakaza wa hakaza. So meaning 30 days. Right? So hakaza. And then he also said in another hadith, a month is what? It's 29 days or 30 days. Okay. And then at that time, astronomy has not advanced as it is today. Okay. And at that time, there were people who uses the station of the star to determine certain events. So these people are called munajimun. Okay. So that sometimes they try to predict the future by just the movement of the stars. Okay. So this is, according to some scholars, they are saying that the fuqaha refute what the usage of astronomical calculation because of what these people. So munajimun, not astronomy. You get it? So, and then when we look at the reality today, the countries that use astronomical calculation for determining the moon, the beginning of Ramadan and the end of Ramadan, they have what they have. There's unification in everything they do. There's unification. They begin the fasting on the same day and then end the same day. But if you look at the country who say no, we follow sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftaru li ru'yatihi. We have to sight the moon with our eyes. Because that's what the Prophet said. Yes, that's what he said. We have to abide by that. But you don't also neglect what? Advancement of technology. You get it? Now, since last 2 weeks, we started hearing that Ramadan will start when? 11th. What?
11th March.
Okay. Now, how did we know? Have you sighted the moon in advance? Has the moon been sighted in advance? No. So how did you know? We also don't know Gaib. Do we? We don't. So how did we know? That's through advancement of technology. Sometimes also when you cast your minds back, years back, before Ramadan, you will see prayer time from 1st Ramadan to 29th or 30th Ramadan. Right? Okay, this time, based on what? On what did they base the time? The prayer time. Because the prayer time, it changes a lot, and it's based on what? The movement of the sun. So how did you determine for 30 days, brothers? For 30 days, man. For 30 days, yeah? 30 days. How did you do that? It's based on what? Astronomical calculation. Do you get it? So I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Yes. But I also, I was in Turkey. And in Turkey, I think they follow the astronomical calculations. And it's always right, like, from all the time.
I try to find out how they do it. And one of our lecturers said, we actually discussed this in class and how it works and all that. And then he said, the way they do it, they have a committee. There's a whole team that works on that. So when they forecast it, and then it shows them that, okay, the moon will be sighted, right? But it will be sighted here in a specific place. Okay, now they know that, okay, the moon will be sighted on this day. So Ramadan will start on this day. But they have to send a delegation to go and witness what? The moon.
Wow.
Yes. So that's according to what our lecturer, according to our discussion. He's also well versed in that area. He's a researcher. You get it. So that's it. You get, it's not like they just sit and then see, it's so easy. Everyone starts this. They start the whole country, the whole country. Like for instance, take it for instance. We start fasting the same day and end the same day. Why? Because there's one Grand Mufti. When he said, "Okay, we are starting on this day," who are you to say we're not started? Yes, because yes, there are groups, but he is the Grand Mufti, and then his opinion, his conclusion is not what? It's not influenced by anyone. It's based on what? Based on the information of what? Of the committee. They understand that he announced. But in our case, it's not like that. There's so much influence. There's so much what? The political influence, personal interest, ignorance, arrogance, all these combined. All these combined. Last year, you find someone coming to announce the citation of the moon, and he said, "This is our methodology. This is our way. If you don't agree with us, come and let's sit and talk." What is that? What is that? What is that? This is Ramadan. You have no way here. This is Ramadan. You get it? So I'm trying to let you understand why we have this conflict. But according to the Islamic way, the opinion of the Grand Mufti, the conclusion of the Grand Mufti should what? Should be the final. But this is how we find ourselves. May Allah make it.
And ours too, according to the accounting.
If you say ours, what do you mean?
Ghana.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe you've been checking. Shaban, they don't favor it at all. They give it 30. They don't give it 29. They give it 30 for that one. And Ramadan too, they give it 30. So sometimes if some are on 30 and they are 29, they'll tell the people to rest whilst the other people are on Eid. They'll tell them to rest. After they will pay, or maybe they'll say because fast is 29 or 30. So some of them do not fast. And for me, that's where I'm having the issue around with. Because they always give 30, Ramadan 30.
Who are those? Who do that?
Like, what's the name?
The Hilal, you know there's Hilal committee?
Yeah.
Are you sure the Hilal committee does that?
Check last 2 years, last 3 years. Follow. You just follow up.
I think it's having the statistics.
They
Okay. All right. So I mean, this is also maybe one of the issues. May Allah make it.
Concerning the Ramadan and the prayer times, and now and the problem, or even the village, my village, we have two different groups. One will pray Salah, Eid prayer, and then the other will be the next villages. All the time. Issue, lot of issues. It's concerning
social. Can't like the ulama or something find solution to this problem so that we'll rest once and for all.
It's they can, but it's difficult. It's not as easy as you say.
To come and save some interest.
It's, brothers, there's everything in it. There's everything in it. Everything is in it. Religious biases, ignorance, selfishness, ego, political differences, religious. Everything is inclusive. We have a very serious issue. And this cannot be solved unless we have one religious body who regulates everything. If without that, there's no way we can resolve this. So may Allah make it easy. Now, this what has to do with the issue of the moon. So now let's look at another issue, then we pause. Okay. The second issue is what? Is on the intention. Okay. So the author said, ويبيت الصيام في أوله وليس عليه البيات في بقية ويتم الصوم إلى الليل. So he said, it is what? It is obligatory for a person who, an adult or responsible Muslim, to what? To intend at night. Right? Let's say the moon has been sighted this evening. Okay? So meaning the following day, we what? Is first Ramadan. Okay? So now, what do we have to do? We have to intend that we will fast the month of Ramadan that night, or we have that from that night, meaning after Isha, till Fajr time, till the second Azan to intend. So you can intend at any time within this time frame. That you've intended to fast the month of Ramadan completely for the sake of Allah. So this is how you intend. So this intention is what is obligatory. So you have to intend at night, or you intend before the second azan of Fajr. If you don't do that till the azan is called, you still have to abstain from eating, drinking, and sexual intercourse, and you have to make up that day.
Meaning you're fasting.
You are not fasting in the first place. Because, just example, someone who has come to pray. Is in the mosque, he has come to pray, and then did not intend. He just pray for rakat. He did not intend. Is the prayer valid?
No.
Why?
The intention
The intention is not there. Why is it not valid? We understand the intention is not there. Why? What is the reason?
Okay. Which prayer did you do?
Yes.
Is compulsory.
Yes, it's a rukun. So when it is missing, the prayer is what? Is void. Is void. You get it? So with the Ramadan, it's also what? Fasting of Ramadan or fasting in general. In our madhab, it's like that. You have to intend at night.
With regards to the salah, the intention is consciously set. So in this situation, maybe the person, of course, he made ablution, he was going to pray, and he went to the mosque. Maybe he didn't meet Jama and he started praying. So he came with an intention to pray, but because he didn't consciously have the intention to pray Zulu or maybe Asr, that's why maybe it's not valid. But of course, somebody who took good time come and perform ablution and go and pray, is having an intention to pray.
Brother, we've already discussed this.
Yes.
If when you're even going to the masjid, you know you're going to pray. We said yes, this intention does not suffice. When you stand to pray, intend you are coming to pray that particular prayer for the sake of Allah. Yeah. Yes, we know when you're going to the masjid, you're going to pray. But you have to intend. You get it? Yeah.
Okay, but then with this the problem that even the intention perfect people are having this the problem with it. Like some people they say now believe and the problem here is not if you look at it from what you just said and I compare the basic thing is to intend at that time. But the problem is concerning those who are saying it loudly, and that is where the problem is, right?
Okay, so now the intention, you can say it loudly if you can't suffice with what is in the heart. There are some people, when they intend in the heart, to them it's not sufficient. They have to what? They have to say it. No problem, you can still say it. But what you are saying should not be contrary to what is in the heart. You understand? If saying it will affirm what is in the heart, say it. You get it? There's no problem. But we don't only say it without having the conviction in the heart. It should be first in the heart before you what? You utter it.
Seeing it with your inner voice does not suffice.
It suffices. Even if you don't say it, but you have the conviction it's the issue of the heart. You intend that, oh, I'm going to pray Zuhur for the sake of Allah. That's it. It is the intention. So you can have the conviction without saying it. Okay? Some too can't just do that. When they have the conviction, they still have to say it. I'm going to praise the Lord for the sake of Allah. It's fine, no problem. You get it? So the fasting should also be done that way. You should have what? You should intend that you are going to fast the entire month completely. Before, meaning this in the month of Ramadan, that's the first night. That's you have to fast. So now, do you have to do that every night, or only one night, the first night suffice for the rest of the month?
I can quite remember you said you can either do it the night before or maybe after the first Azan of Fajr. Right.
For the fasting of Ramadan?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, do you want to say something again?
No.
Okay, so now, the intention of the first night of Ramadan, intending to fast the entire month, is obligatory. Without it, you are just what? Abstaining from food, drink, and sexual intercourse, and you are not fasting.
For 30 days.
For the 30 days.
Okay. Does that mean if you don't see it from the starting, then the rest is?
Yeah, if you don't, it is a must to say it from the starting. But if you don't say it from the starting, but still intend before Fajr, then it's valid.
For that day.
Let's say, for that day. So let's say that the first night of Ramadan, you did not intend that you fast for the rest of the month, or for the you've not intended that you fast Ramadan completely. But after Sahur, you remember that I did not intend. So you quickly intended to fast Ramadan that day. It suffices. You get it? Because you've intended to fast. But if you intend in the first night to fast the month completely, you can either suffice with only that intention or renew it every night.
Yeah, but that's saying it from the first night. So maybe in the 10th day, can you intend to do for the rest of the month?
You can, but the ones you've done for the first till that day is just abstinence, yes. Health exercise.
Okay, sure. What if maybe what if maybe you have the issue of forgetfulness? Okay, then you say, oh, I learned today, so from the month of Ramadan, I've intended that I'll fast.
So now, having an issue of forgetfulness here is not an excuse. So here, your fasting is not valid, but you will benefit from your forgetfulness for not. I don't have to do kafara. That's the penalty. We will discuss it. What is the kafara? We will discuss it. But you have to make up that day. Your forgetfulness will save you from what? From the penalty. That is the kafara. Hadn't been because of the kafara, the forgetfulness, you would have what? You would have what? Pay and then still what? Still do the kafara. But because of the forgetfulness, you only make up that day. You get it? Is it clear? Because it's very important.
I'm saying that maybe I've intended today.
Okay.
To fast for
today is which day? Are you which day are you referring in Ramadan? The first day or when?
Like maybe I'm having issue with forgetfulness.
Okay.
And today I know that from the ninth before Ramadan, I know that maybe because I'm having issue. So right now, I'm
so before Ramadan you've already intended. Oh brother. This It's not intention. This is not valid. So you see,
Yeah.
yes.
Before
So you
Ramadan,
see,
like maybe like
what
a week,
is
something before Ramadan.
yeah, what is referring is okay. Since I have issue with forgetfulness, okay. Today, Ramadan will start after 2 days, after 3 days. So, not to fall short on this, I've already intended. Okay, so when Ramadan come, I have my intention already. This is not valid. This is not valid.
Even if you have the issue with forgetfulness.
Even if you have issue of forgetfulness. Yeah. Yes. So you have to what? You have to intend in the first night. And then it is what? Recommended you renew it every what? Every night. But if you don't, that first intention will suffice. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, let's say people are not sure. Today is 29th Shaban. People are not sure whether the next day is first Ramadan or 30th Shawwal. And then at that night, you made your intention to fast the month of Ramadan completely. In case the next day is first Ramadan, then you continue with your fast. This is not valid. No, this is not valid.
Maybe a shortcut.
No, this is not valid. You have to be certain. Tomorrow is Ramadan. Tomorrow is first Ramadan. I will fast the complete. That's it. But don't use tricks. If as if you're writing a programming language, if or else, no. Is it clear? Yeah.
Say, I want to know, unlike Salah, you can intend before you go and start. But how do you intend to fast? If you want to fast, how do you intend? Mostly, people go and perform ablution, they do Salah after Torah, then they will make the intention before they start.
Mhm.
So, is that how to make your intention for for the fasting?
For the first thing, we said that the first night, let's say that tonight, the night in Islamic tradition, we believe that the night precedes the day. Okay, so this night, the first Ramadan, first day of Ramadan, its night will precede what? The day.
Mm.
So that night is the night that you have to intend.
But do you have
To
to be in a situation
In which situation?
in terms of maybe you're just sleeping, you just woke up, or you're sitting down, you're into something, you're doing something, maybe like, okay, I've intended.
No, you don't have to be in any state. Whether you are walking home from the mosque or you are on the bed about to sleep, to wake up for sahur, in any state you can what? You can just make the intention. It's the issue of the heart. Whether you have ablution or you don't, you're pure or impure, the intention is still valid. You intend, let's say that the moon has been sighted this evening. So meaning tonight is the first night of what? Ramadan. Then the next day will be what? The first day of Ramadan. So that first night of Ramadan is the night that you're supposed to intend. That I've intended or I'm making intention to fast the month of Ramadan completely for the sake of Allah. So this is what this intention is valid. So the next day, before Sahur, if you want, you can renew that intention, or if you want, you don't. It suffices. The next day, the second night, if you want, you can renew it. If you want, you leave it. The first intention will suffice. But some scholars are saying each day it's what? It's a separate act of worship. So you have to what? You have to intend for it. So it's what? I will recommend you what? You renew it. Okay, I will recommend you renew that intention. You make the first one. In case you forget, it suffices. But if you can renew it, it's what? It's better. Yeah.
So I know someone who precedes his intention, especially when the person is coming to fast with two rakat.
Okay.
So he performed 2 rakat, and now he make his intention to fast.
That's very good, mashallah. Mashallah, that's better.
But is it something you have to do?
No, it's there. You don't have to. But here he's venerating the act of worship, which is good. He's honoring the moment. It's good, mashallah. Yeah. Any question?
Yes. So my question is with regards to the astronomical calendar.
Calculation.
Yes. So what if someone is working with the astro? Maybe the person is an astronaut. Maybe it's in space. You
Okay.
know what, they sight the moon every single time. Like they sight the moon there. So how would the person, someone like that, fast in that space? Because it's already in the space.
You should come down and fast. You should come down. You
But
should,
you understand the question.
yeah, I get it. You should come down and fast. Since you have sighted the moon.
You
No.
can stay there in fast, or you can't.
Huh?
You can't stay there in fast.
No, how can he fast there? How can he fast? Because on what basis? From what time to what time will he fast? How will he pray and all that? You know,
The time of
it's
the earth.
it's a different world altogether. Yeah, so you have to come down and since he has said so immediately inside the moon of Ramadan, it's wajib. He has to come down and fast. But I don't know whether that too will be considered traveling or not. You know, but traveling, we said it's uh, on the land or on the sea. So here, this is neither on the land nor on the sea. It's not on the plane in the aeroplane too. It's in a different thing. So maybe to have it's different really, but he has to come down and pray. Yeah.
So that means on a normal circumstance, that person has to pay when he comes back to it. Maybe they want an explanation.
So that's what I'm saying. Whether that journey will be considered traveling or not. You get it? Uh-huh. So if it will be considered traveling, then fasting fasting is not what? Fasting is not obligatory upon the person. You know, when the person come, then he can make it up. You get it? But if it's not considered travel or journey, then he has to come down.
Sai, ko na ce, wani hukunci ke nan da aka yi da ke mutum na da lafiya, ya shaida watannin, amma bai kamata ya yi azumi ba.
Do you get it? I know you don't understand us. Okay, so a person is asking whether. What's the question again?
Wanda kamar shi fufi ne, komi shi ya. Amma wasu ababen na, ba san kuje wannan kuma malumman sun duba. Or even though komi shi wanga ne, amma wangan da bai kamata ya yi azumi ba. Doke shi kamar maybe in terms of wurin aikin shi, kamar aikin da suke yi, kamar aikin nan don yana da ƙarfi za.
It's asking of someone who is physically fit to fast, is strong, legally responsible, is fit, he can fast. But maybe his work, he's doing a very hard work, maybe very heavy work, carrying those things. Can the person leave the fast or not? Or is there any legal excuse or permission for the person to leave fast? No, there's not. No. If you know you're having that kind of work and you can't work in Ramadan, take leave in Ramadan and fast.
So
Take
what do
leave.
you mean if that will prevent you from like maybe getting paid?
No, if you take leave in Ramadan, you will be paid. You'll be paid.
On this ground.
Yeah. Yeah, in this Ghana. Yeah, in this Ghana. I mean, yeah, it's your right. If you're right to take a leave, annual leave, so you'll be paid for that. Unless in the contract it's not stated like, or maybe something like that. It's not included in the benefits, or maybe in the contract. Then that's different. But according to the labor law, you are entitled to what? To this number of days annually. So you can take these days off so that you can fast. But this is not what a legal excuse to what to break the fast. If you break it, you will make up that day, and then there's also kafara on you. Yeah. So let's pause here and then continue inshallah in our next lesson. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.